Hello guys, I'm Mohsen Afshari and I'm here for the first workshop of Vantage application. Before we start, we should mention a few things. For the people who don't know me, again, I'm Mohsen Afshari and I've been teaching these apps. I'm in modeling apps for more than 10 years and I've been involved with three-dimensional applications like Max and V-Ray for more than 15 years. It's been a year that I've been working with Vantage and I've been modeling and rendering, of course, and I had good results. So I created this workshop for you guys. I'm not going to go hard on the subject, so if you want to go fast paced on the video, you can do that. These videos are not going to be like the Instagram videos. The next thing about Vantage is that we have the second version of it. And as you know, Vantage is just beginning and it has so many bugs and of course so many updates which are covering these bugs and fixing these problems. When you watch this workshop, probably there are new updates, so check them out. And of course, remember the problems that are fixed and the abilities that are new. So again, I should mention that we don't expect that much from Vantage. For example, it doesn't recognize some of the particles and for example, does not support some of the materials, and like in the previous versions wouldn't support some of the lights. But also we should mention that these problems are being fixed every day with new updates. For example, there are some noise in rendering stuff, but we don't expect that much. But this app has an advantage, which is, for example, the renderings in the V-Ray that took 2 hours to render, to prepare, we can do them in minutes in here. So the speed is just insane. Of course, that depends on your graphic card. And the thing is, you don't have to change anything in your V-Ray model. If you are working with the Corona, it's okay too. So you can do the modeling in V-Ray and, for example, do some editing. There is some processing there too. And there's, of course, some details in case of converting them. And then import them into this app and do the rendering. About Max and V-Ray, I'm using the latest versions which are released, and I'd probably share this set as Max version 23 for you guys, but please do not use this model for yourself completely. I mean, if you just change the details somehow, for example, some of the materials, and try to release it as your own work, there are going to be a lot of people doing the same thing, and the supervisor is going to search for that and he's going to lose his trust completely. So try to download another set, another model, and do your changes on them. Or of course, if you want to do the same thing with this set, just make sure you change big things. I'll support this move. I'll even share these models in my own page. It's going to be good because people can see the results of the people who are working with this workshop, and it's going to be good for me too. Well, another question is about the graphic cards. AMD Radeon above 6000 and RTX would support this Vantage, but there is a but. The version 20, 30, and 40 can support it, but what I recommend is 30 and 40. It's because the rendering process is going to be faster, but for just working and practicing, the version 20 is going to be good too. And about the VRAM, as you know, our system has a RAM, our graphic card has a RAM too, and that is very important in Vantage. So the better RAM that you purchase, for example, 8 gigabytes, 12 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, 24 gigabytes, if the RAM is not good enough, it wouldn't support, the application, and the rendering process is going to be so difficult, and you cannot, process very detailed scenes, very heavy objects. So you might be needing to close other apps. So when you purchase a RAM, do not just care about the speed of the RAM. Care about the RAM itself, because you can work with every type of project. For example, for this scene, I was working on it and my RAM was RTX 3080 and RAM was 8 gigabytes. And in that case, I had problem rendering it. For example, I used to close the Photoshop or restart the app itself again. Right now I have 3090 and 24 gigabytes, which is the maximum amount, and it's gonna be good. But you don't need 24 gigabytes, you need just 12 gigabytes or more than that. It's not necessary. Thank you. Another one is about the quality of the rendering. For the beginners that feel the quality of renderings is not good enough, this point will help them out. So I needed to mention it. So look for the rendered models, and for example, from websites like Evermotion, or for example, you could do the same thing from Moonarc, which have a lot of models and sets from internal environment, and download a good one, and without care, delete all the lighting. And then start the lighting process yourself so you could simulate the original scene. So you have to practice so much so you could be good at it and make a scene like the original one. So if you do that, you would understand what the guy has done and you would practice that. And this is going to be very essential for the process of learning it. Do the exact thing for the materials too, and you would see a miracle after a while, even for the frame of the filming and the camera angles. For example, where to focus, where to look, where to put the camera, and what is the best angle. And again, check the original scene and think about what this guy has done. Just practice these moves 10 times and you would see unconsciously that you got so much better in case of lighting and materialization. And more than that, you get your own signature and your own style of modeling. And that is the time for the progress that kicks in, and the speed is going to go in a crazy level. It's just exactly like the car when you're on the first gear and you push the gas pedal so much, it consumes a lot of fuel, but the speed is not that much. You go to the second one, the speed is more. And when the speed is more, it consumes less fuel, and the higher gears is the same thing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the process and the speed of making progress here. It's exactly the same thing with three-dimensional applications. Some kids, most of them, give up in the first gears. You should not do that. So do not lose your motivation. Do not give up. Most of the guys that you see that right now have cool renderings and, professional projects, they didn't give up at the beginnings, and right now they're showing their results. So just remember that. Do not compare yourself with the professionals right now. Thanks for watching.